Hello students, in today's economics class, the topic we're going to discuss is production possibility curve, or we also call it as a production possibility frontier. Before moving towards this concept, let's go through a small basic concept of economics, that is resources, the factors of production. Basically, the resources or the factors of production, there are four factors of production in economics. First one is land, second one is labor, third one is capital, and fourth one is entrepreneurship. Land. Land is basically what? Land is a natural resource, and the natural resource we see around us, we see so much of land around us. Now that is what it is, a one of a factor of production. So land is what? Land is a natural resources, and for using a land we need to pay what? A rent. So we say that land is the first factor of production. Moving toward the second factor of production is labor. Labor is what? Human resource. The people work in in our organizations who provide us services are what? The labor. So we call them what? Human resource. And for getting the work from that human resource or labor, what we have to pay? We have to pay wages or salaries. The third factor of production is capital. Capital is what? The money invested in a business, or for tools, for machines, for factory working, for any purpose. The amount of money invested is known as what? Capital. And for using a capital, what do we have to pay? We have to pay the interest. If you take loan from someone, you will have to pay interest to that person or to the bank. That is why similarly, when you take capital from a person, we take a money from a person to invest in your business. It is what? It is the capital, and in return of that you will have to pay the interest. The fourth factor of production is what? Entrepreneurship. See, entrepreneurship is an ability of risk taker to combine land, labor and capital in a new ways in order to promote or in order to make profit. Entrepreneurship, if we say, is an ability. For example, I say I am an entrepreneur. How can I call myself an entrepreneur? I will be able to call myself an entrepreneur when I will be having an ability to combine the three factors which I stated above: land, labor and capital, in such a way that I am able to earn profit from them. For example, I open an organization and I have made a factory on a land. I am using a land. In a factory, I have employed the people, which is human resource, labor. Third, I have invested capital. That is why I was able to buy that land. I was able to install the machineries in my organization. Now I will have to make best use of these three factors of production to prove my entrepreneurship skill. If I will be able to make profit by combining all these three factors of production, then I can be called as an entrepreneur. So the payment for entrepreneurship is profit. How will be I called up entrepreneur, good entrepreneur? When I will be able to earn a profit. Basically, an entrepreneur is a businessman. In a layman language, we call it a businessman, that he or she does a business. He or she combines land, labor and capital in such a way that he or she can earn the profit. So in a layman language, entrepreneur is whom? Is a businessman. Alright, so these were the four factors of production that require a brief introduction for you. Now moving on towards our main topic of today, is basically the production possibility curve. But firstly, I would like to present an example in front of you all. See, we all know the people wants, that is, we human beings wants are unlimited. Our wants and our needs can never be satisfied, and resources are not that much sufficient to satisfy our all the wants. All wants cannot be satisfied na. If I say I want 1 lakh, I want 2 lakh, I want 3 lakh, there will be a certain limit that money will end and I will not be able to get so much of money na. My wants will be increasing day by day, but money is quite not in a that sufficient number. Money is not available in so much of numbers, in so much of value. So all my demands cannot be fulfilled, all my needs cannot be fulfilled. See, we have understand this concept, or we have discussed this concept in earlier lectures also. So now what will I have to do? I have to make a choice, right? For let's take an example. Right now you have selected a stream 11th, right? In 11th you were having a multiple of the streams. You cannot be in all the streams now. You cannot be in the same time in non-medical, in same time in economics, and same time in commerce. No, you have to make a choice. That is what we are talking. Even though we like all the stream, we might be thinking that this stream has good subject, this stream has this good subject. We might be interested in all such of streams, but we have to select one stream at the end of the day. So we made a choice. So that is what it is all about. When the resources are limited, we are only one human being. Because of a restriction of a government, we can pass +1 or +2 in a one stream only. So that was a restriction. Okay, resources are not that much, resources are limited, but our wants are so much. So what we have to make a choice. Either I should go for medical, either I should go for non-medical, or either I should go for commerce. All right, we make such kinds of choice. So when there is a unlimited wants and there is a scarcity of resources, we have to make choice that how to use these scarce resources, that how to use this 2 year period of mine which I will be having. For example, you are having basically that you have get you in yourself enrolled in +1. All right, so now you are having 2 years, +1 and +2. Now how you will use this scarce resources to get best out of it? By choosing the one stream which will be suitable for you. So that is what it is. Then now take an example. You are having a 3 cup of flour. Okay, you are having a 3 cup of what? Flour. That 3 cup of flour can either be used to make a loaf of bread. You understand? Loaf, a piece of bread, basically a bigger piece of bread, a chunk of bread. Or you can use that 3 cup of flour to make the both. All right, sorry, to make the cake. All right, so you have two choices. Either you can use the 3 cup of flour to make what? To make a loaf of bread, or either to make a cake. You cannot make both of them. आप दोनों को नहीं बना सकते. You cannot make two of them. You have to select either one of the option you wish to go for. All right, so over here what you will have to do, you will have to make a choice which one is more beneficial for you. In a let's take an example. You are in a game show. All right, and you have been offered a diamond and a bottle of water. Which one you select? I guess you will select a diamond now, because diamond is a very valuable thing. At that time you will think that yeah, diamond is good thing, it has value, I should choose this one rather than a bottle of water. It is not having any value, because you are standing at a stage in a competition. That time you want to win a valuable thing, so you will choose what? A diamond. Take another, the same example in another situation. You are in a desert of a Rajasthan. All right, you are feeling quite thirsty, and you are having an option either to choose diamond and either to choose a bottle of water. What will you select? I guess I will select a bottle of water. Why? Because at that point of time, diamond will not be helpful for me. If I feel thirsty and if my health goes deteriorate, I feel somewhere like need of water, then only water can fulfill my this need. Because if I didn't get the water in that desert, I might die over there. And what will I do of a diamond? If I die in that only desert, no na, then the diamond will not of no use na. So that is why we have to make a choice on the basis of situation, on the basis of the value of that product at that particular time. I was the same person in the both the situation, but according to the situation I made different choices. When I was on a stage of a competition, I go for a diamond, because at that time I thought it is more valuable for me. But when I was in a desert, I selected a bottle of water, because on that spot of time, bottle of water was more valuable for me. So similarly, when you have 3 cup of flour, you will have to make a choice whether you want to have something sweet, then you will be what? You will be baking a cake. Or whether if you want to fill your stomach, then you will be baking or making a loaf of bread. So the choice is always made on the basis of satisfying the want, and then want, and that particular want is always combined with a value, and that value is in that particular situation. If I might be hungry, then I will surely go for a loaf of bread. Even I like cake, even in the normal days I like cake, but I will make, I will only make a loaf of bread with that 3 cup of flour rather than making a cake, because cake will not or will not successful be to somewhere satisfy my hunger. Only the loaf of bread will be able to satisfy my hunger. So this is a situation. So we understand that either we can cook for one, either we can make one, or either there's another option also. I can divide that 3 cup of flour in some quantity that I can make both. I can use 1 cup of flour to make the loaf of bread and 2 cup of flour to make the cake. This is also possible now that I divide that 3 cup, that 1 cup will be used for what? For making bread, and 2 cups will be used to make what? It will be used to make the cake. So this is also possible. That is what is the concept of production possibility curve. Now look at the definition. Production possibility curve shows the different combination of pair of two goods which can be produced with the given resources. So what is a production possibility curve? It is basically a graph. It is a picture which shows what? Combination. Like we are discussing about what? The cake and the loaf of bread. We were discussing about the bread and the cake now. So how the combination, different combination of two goods can be produced. I made a first combination, that 1 cup of flour for the bread and 2 cup of flour for the cake. Another combination can be 1.5 cup of flour for the bread, 1.5 cup of flour for the cake. Another combination, 2 cup of flour for the bread and 1 cup of flour for the cake. And the another combination, 3 cup of flour for only cake, 0 cup of flour for the bread. Or I can go for 3 cup of flour for the bread and 0 cup of flour for the cake. So these were the different combinations that were possible. So that is what is production possibility curve. Production possibility curve shows the different combination of pair of two goods. We always be talking about two goods, like I was talking about two goods that were bread and the cake. Two goods which can be produced, which can be made, or which can be produced with that given resources. That given resources was what? The 3 cup of flour. 3 cup of flour is a given resources. Combination of good is which I made right now, 3, 0, 1.5, 1.51, and the two goods are the rice and cake and the loaf of bread. Alright, but we make all this concept on assumption. Assumption is basically the thing we think that it is consistent, it will not change. If these things will change, then the rule we are applying will not be successful. So the first assumption is that resources are fully and efficiently utilized. We think over there the resources we are using them in a best manner. We are getting the maximum output from that resources. First assumption is this. Second assumption is that technique of production remains constant. We also assume the technique we are using for producing that good will not change in that particular period of time, because if technique will change, then our production possibility curve combination will not remain same, because as we all know, with the passage of time always techniques improve, and with the improve of the technique there is always change in our production pattern. So we assume what? That resources are fully and efficiently utilized, and second one is the technique of production remains constant. Now let's look at one another thing, that is basically the schedule. Now in economics we will be making a tables, lots of tables of different topics, different concepts. We call these tables schedules. What we call these tables? Schedules. Now let's look at the production possibility schedule. See, here we are taking two goods. I already talked that we will be taking the combination of only two goods. We are taking the combination of two goods, wheat and cloth, and we have made the production possibilities. We have seen that with the wheat, in the first combination we are only producing 100 lakh tons of wheat and 0 cloth. We are not making any cloth. We are using all the resources for the production of what? Wheat. In the second combination, if we see, we are using the resources to produce 90 lakh tons of wheat and 1000 bales of cloth. So we have divided, here we have made a combination. In C possibility, we have 70 lakh tons of wheat and 2000 bales of cloth. And if we go to the E combination, the last combination, what we are doing, we are producing zero wheat. We are not producing wheat at all. Like in first combination, we were only producing wheat, no cloth. But in the last combination, we are producing zero wheat, but we are producing 4,000 bales of clothes. So this is the production possibility of the two goods which we are trying to show with the table, which we will call as production possibility schedule. Now let's move to the production possibility curve. What is production possibility curve? Production possibility curve is a graphical representation of production possibilities of two commodities. When we try to represent the production pattern, the production possibility of any two commodities with the help of a graph, it is known as production possibility curve, or we can call it as a transformation curve, or we can call it as a production possibility frontier. It can come with any name, so keep all the three names in your mind. Now let's look at over here. Here on x-axis we have taken cloth, and on y-axis we have taken the wheat in lakh tons and cloth in thousands of bales. Now if we look in the first combination, the A combination, we said we will be producing 100 lakh tons of wheat and 0,000 bales of cloth. So see over here, at the A point we having A at 100, and if we look at the cloth there is zero, right? So this is the first combination. If we move to the second combination, we have 90 lakh tons of wheat and 1,000 bales of what? Cloth. If we move to the third combination, we have 70 lakh tons of wheat and we have what? 2,000 bales of cloth. If we move to the another combination, that is a combination number D, we have 40 lakh tons of wheat and we have 3,000 bales of cloth. And if we move to the last combination, we are having 0 lakh tons of wheat and 4,000 bales of cloth. So these were the different combinations which are represented through a curve, and we call it a production possibility curve. This production possibility curve joins from A to E, and this is what we call the production possibility curve. All the factors which lie inside this concave curve, which curve is it? It is concave curve. So all the combination lying inside this concave curve is known as the attainable combination. But any combination outside this production possibility curve is the unattainable combination of output, because we are not having this much of resources to attain this production. So this is the concept of production possibility curve, where we studied firstly about the factors of production, then we studied what is production possibility curve, and then we discussed its schedule, and at last we are discussing its graphical representation. So that's it for today. Thank you.